Boss's closet, yo.
Like
All right, it is time to enter Voss's closet. And like I said, he thought that if he stuck two unattractive women in the closet with him, he thought he surrounded himself with two unattractive women, one of which had something, speaking of 16-year-olds earlier, she had something weird to say about 16-year-olds during The Last of Us, for those of you guys who remember that video, Jesus Christ. But Erik Voss, Voss's closet, bringing some women into the closet. He must be listening. He must be watching. Oh, we already know he's watching because of all the sneak disses, right? Anyway, Voss's closet kicking off at 30 seconds here. I have a feeling this is going to be something pretty gay.
Welcome back to the break room. We are talking about the state of Marvel. Hit that graphic. Right. Headlines. Marvel is in trouble. A 66% drop off from weekend 1 to weekend 2. And Variety is leaving out important details because they're.
I can't take this guy. I seriously can't take this guy.
You're shilling too hard.
I think you need your balls reattached.
That clip definitely applies to Erik Voss, or at least like take him out of the dude's mouth.
Rooting for Marvel to fail for some reason. I'm Erik Voss.
Oh, rooting for Marvel to fail. Now, who would do a thing like that?
And Variety is leaving out important details because they are rooting for Marvel to fail for some reason. I'm Erik Voss. And joining me today are Gina Ippolito and Jessica Clemens. Hello, everybody. I really forced Brian to just hit those lower thirds back.
The break room, Jack, because he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to do that. We are not paid shills discussion on this channel. He wanted to hide it on a website in hopes that I wouldn't find it, but he was wrong. He was 100% wrong. Okay, so I think we're going to keep going right now.
Back, that was not fun for him, but you did a great job, Brian. So here's the deal, guys. Marvel Studios is now dealing with a second weekend slump from Fantastic Four.
Not very many, if you ask me. I mean, what we got down here, 23,000 views. I mean, it's not terrible, but you know, I can pull that. I can pull 23K in a video. These guys should be killing me.
First steps. You may have seen the trades report that from the first Friday of Fantastic Four's release to the second Friday, there was like an 80-something% drop off, which is pretty surprising. They were expecting a decline of 55 to 60%.
Yeah, because that was what Superman had.
That's what Superman had. And like, if you can keep it within the 50% range, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
For these movies. But in this case, it was a 66% drop off.
Which means it's time to cope, right, Voss? It's time to start coping. Let's jump to 2 minutes.
Or the other times they've done it hasn't gone well. Or Pedro Pascal, he's kind of weird on the press tour. I don't think that was it. I also think like
well, Voss, you're just as weird as he is, only you do it with men only. Pedro does it with men and women. You do it with men. We all remember his greeting for Matt, the director of Fantastic Four, and how he literally freaked him the fuck out in that video.
This reporting is being presented without full context.
Yeah, this is exactly the same thing they did with Sinners. Remember when Sinners came out and people were like,
"Oh, this has been the numbers, chat. The numbers are being taken out of context." According to Erik Voss in the break room.
Oh, look, it's not doing well. And it's like, oh, yeah, it is.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
I also think with Sinners, there was some straight up racist reporting in that instance. They were saying, Ryan Coogler.
Racist reporting on is that true, chat? I didn't really follow Sinners all that much. I didn't watch it. I didn't even really follow. Was there racist reporting with Sinners? I mean, coming from Erik Voss, I immediately doubt it. Do I need to play the Tell Me Lies clip again?
When he's not with some straight up race. I also think with Sinners, there was some straight up racist reporting in that instance. They were saying, Ryan
Always.
Coogler, when he's not with Marvel, can't. I don't know. I'm not the person to speak to that, but I am.
How is that racist? Ryan Coogler doesn't do good when he's not with Marvel. That's racist. I mean, apparently Sinners is a pretty good movie from what I've heard. I need to play the clip again.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
Yeah, apparently there was a racist agenda against it, but I don't know who. This is the first I've ever heard of it. Look, and like judging by like this freeze frame here, he doesn't look like he knows what the fuck he's talking about. All right, next clip's at 3:25. I guess we could nominate him for that. Crying racism over nothing. Let me circle that. What was that at? That was at 2 minutes. Oh, not that clip. There we go.
It's like, it's also the end of the month. I'm not sure this is 100% the reason. I'm just spouting what pop culture is talking about. It's the end of the month. There's a million festivals going on. There's other new movies coming out. A lot of people are busy. Also, it's the first of the month. So it's like,
it's the end of the month. There's festivals. A lot of people are going to other movies. What all did she say? This is her reasons for Fantastic Four's box office drop, chat.
a lot of actual matters that are coming into play where it's like, it's also the end of the month. I'm not sure this is 100% the reason.
And it's the end of the month. Okay.
I'm just spouting what pop culture is talking about. It's the end of the month. There's a million festivals going on. There's other new movies coming out. A lot of people are busy. Also, it's the first of the month. So it's like,
it's the end of the month. It's the first of the month. There are festivals and there's other movies coming out. Great. Okay. There you go. Oh, okay. Great reporting. Great reporting. 4:15, and I have this one circled as well. What do you got to say, Voss?
Crap going on. They're like, oh, you know what? I'll catch it next weekend, or I'll catch it the weekend after that.
Yeah, I think people, a lot of people who report on this stuff in the industry are getting engagement out of anything that says that Marvel is weak. If Marvel's bleeding, there's just going to be more traffic on their website. So
here we go. We're just exploiting negativity. We're being negative just because it gets clicks.
I think they're eager to find any kind of narrative that says that Marvel's not doing great. So
Thunderbolts lost money. That's just a conspiracy.
Yeah, as soon as like reality starts to fit that narrative, they're going to be all over it.
Yeah.
But like they're going to be very quiet if weekend 3, weekend 4 don't have as pronounced as a drop off because it doesn't suit their told you so narrative.
Also, like, I feel like
Yes, Voss, because clearly you don't have any sort of narrative with what you do on your channel. You don't have any sort of positive narrative so as to keep your access, for example. Fucking idiot, man. Okay, 7:05.
that's what a lot of them do. They want to be the equivalent of doom scrolling.
I just think like you don't have to do that though. I think there are interesting narratives in the numbers that you could look at rather than just cherry picking whatever the most anxiety like negative one is.
but people click on the link because
Erik Voss, are you criticizing people for cherry picking negative like news articles or negative news when all you do on your channel is the exact opposite? You cherry pick the positive and ignore the negative, Voss? Really, Voss?
Though I think there are interesting narratives in the numbers that you could look at rather than just cherry picking whatever the most anxiety like negative one is.
but people click on the link because of the title.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing is like there's people that have that media like I don't even know what comprehension. I don't even know what to call it anymore because it's been fueled into something just not molded into something horrible.
They want to give us all ulcers to make the doctors money.
There's a reason why they're
Oh
literally
my
like,
God.
oh, can you make a post that makes people upset enough to
Good Lord. All right, I think we got one more at the 20-minute mark exactly. I don't even remember what this one is. Let's find out together, shall we?
Be really feeling it, and then there'll be 18 think pieces on Marvel's back, baby.
I am cautiously optimistic about the state of Marvel, and I think
Of course you are.
Fantastic Four first steps in the.
You have to be, Voss. That's how you make your money. You have to be cautiously optimistic.
Really feeling it, and then there'll be
Marvel's
18
back.
think pieces on Marvel's back, baby.
I am cautiously optimistic about the state of Marvel. And I think like the quality of Fantastic Four First Steps and the quality of Thunderbolts and the fact that those two teams are going to be joining together in Avengers Doomsday.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. I did a tweet the other day. Bold prediction by me. I could be wrong on this, chat. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll admit that I'm wrong. But bold prediction by me is that there's a very good chance that Doomsday will not make $1 billion. I think there is a decent chance. I'd say it's like I'm at 60-40 now that it will make $1 billion, but like 40% of me, 40% in my brain is under the mindset that it could not make $1 billion. So I'm sure you guys saw this tweet. It was going around a lot over last weekend. This is John Rocha blaming the fans because his favorite movies of the year, of the summer, were not making any money at the box office. Some people don't want to hear this, but it might be time to stop putting all the blame on the studios or creatives for underperforming movies. It might be time to start looking at the intelligence level of moviegoers because, moviegoers, 99% of moviegoers are not as smart as John Rocha. They're just not as smart as he is. He is the epitome and definition of intelligence. Obviously, right, chat? If a phenomenally stupid film like Jurassic World Rebirth can crush films like Superman and Fantastic Four, now there's a reason for that, and we'll get into it. But he's really triggered that Jurassic World beat those two movies. Jurassic World can crush movies like Superman, Fantastic Four at the box office, then something might be wrong with all of us and not the studios or the creatives. I'm sure the election result this past November factors into this way of thinking a little bit as well. And then there's this one as well. He's quote tweeting this guy. I hate how in 2025 you have the slightest bit of empathy. You're called woke. He tweeted this shortly after I did my video on Monday, by the way. So true and sad state of affairs. But now we get to be the rebels and call out films and TV shows that pander to the white majority, only as they've done for decades in Hollywood. I mean, is he talking about back when films were a lot better than they are now? I don't know. We get to call out white creatives for being hired when there are better Black and POC, people of color creatives they could have hired. White characters being shoved into projects just to pander to the white majority. Good luck. If one side cried about wokeness and DEI for years and complained about the quality of films, TV shows suffering for it, then we get to do the same exact thing when their overly white cast, white subject matter, and white creatives turn out terribly made films and TV shows. What good for the goose? Well, Rocha, that is assuming that these projects are going to be bad in the first place. Very important to recognize that. What if these films are, what if these white films by white people end up being better? But we'll see, I guess. We'll see. Anyway, so he expanded upon this in a live stream that he did called The Truth. A live stream called The Truth with John Rocha. And I have a feeling I'll be playing the Tell Me Lies clip a little bit during this chat. What do you think? Anyway, let's get into this. First soundbite is right off the bat, 2 minutes, 30 seconds.
My tweet that I posted yesterday apparently got 800 plus comments, or almost 800 rather, comments on the tweet itself. Just only 4 or 5 of them from me, I think, because I tried to stay away from it. This new thing I'm doing now is when I post stuff, I'm trying to limit the amount of interaction that I have with my own tweets, because I find that you can.
He failed, by the way. He got big triggered and responded to a bunch of people ripping on him. So he failed at that endeavor. Nice try though. Good attempt. Good attempt. you guys recall on my election night video from way back when, he said that he was, or one of them, he said he was going to go back and delete his angry rage tweets. Anyway, next soundbite is at 15:35.
Now you're going to show up in 2025, and we're going to have 3 movies for you. Brave New World, which was an utter disaster behind the scenes. And clearly,
as you saw, as we covered last week, and as you saw in Monday's video, Kevin Feige is a racist for saying that the movie suffered because Steve Rogers wasn't in it.
People are like, oh, you need to save money. You need to save money. Well, how do you save money? Well, you hire a guy to direct a Captain America film who had done a middling TV series for you. And no surprise, you have a middling Captain America movie. Now, I know there are people who defend it. And I certainly thought the film was watchable. I enjoyed the film. It wasn't great or even really good.
Gotta tiptoe. Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful with what you say.
But it's watchable. So
it was probably the worst movie of the year. Well, I'd say it's close between that and Jurassic. I'd actually put Jurassic World ahead of Brave New World, chat. What do you guys think? What was worse in your guys' opinion, Jurassic World or Brave New World? Now, I will agree with them that Jurassic World is indeed terrible. I mean, I still can't get over that Snickers wrapper at the beginning. Jesus Christ, that was bad.
But it underperformed the box office, and the response overall was one of disinterest after people saw it on opening weekend. And you can argue any number of points. I do not clock in with Kevin Feige's really stupid response of like, well, it's the first one without Chris Evans in it. And it's nonsense. You guys didn't make a good movie. It got messed up with.
I mean, yeah, we covered that last week, and I covered that in the video on Monday. Completely ridiculous there. I'm not going to revisit that. 29:15 is the next one. So very long stream. Well, not very long. It's only 2 hours, 14 minutes. All right, here we go.
Button to launch the trailer. There were all kinds of hype. And let me tell you something from my own personal experience, speaking to people who are connected to Marvel is what I would say without revealing too much.
So Rocha has connections at Marvel. They have connections at Lucasfilm too. Connections all over at Disney. Keep that in mind for later.
They internally, I know from speaking to people connected to Marvel, that they internally felt this film was going to do gangbusters at the box office.
Okay, so there you go. Interesting. He has connections at Disney Marvel. And they thought that Fantastic Four First Steps was going to kick ass at the box office. So that kind of puts a little bit of a damper in Soy Boy Coy's narrative from earlier. So interesting little tidbit there. Again, keep this in mind as we move along here. All right, we're going to jump ahead a bit now to 107:35. So here's where he pulls up his tweet.
But we'll see. Yes, studios or creatives, intelligence level of moviegoers. If a phenomenally stupid film like Jurassic World Rebirth, and it was stupid, can crush films like...
It was stupid, you guys. I'll agree with that. It was fucking stupid. But again, there's a reason that Jurassic World is beating Superman and Fantastic Four, and I'll get to that.
Superman and Fantastic Four. And yes, they did crush Superman. $250 million difference. That's crushing. Then something might be wrong with all of us and not the studios or the creatives. It's rushing through something. And so, but I think I would like to think people got the point when I said all the blame, because people just want to blame the studios and the creatives for this situation.
Now, again, you just said you had connections at those studios, so it sounds to me like you're defending them to keep your access. Anyway, where's the where are we going next? Okay, this is to go to 109. Okay, we're gonna keep going. Actually,
and I think a lot of people are afraid in our space to say anything negative about people who watch these movies because They're desperate for subscribers and to keep their people watching them, and they don't want to hurt any.
I mean, we rip people on this channel, chat, for their opinions on movies, don't we? We rip on people a lot. It's just there's stupid opinions and then there's good opinions, but blaming the moviegoers as a whole and crying about people going to see Jurassic World and not going to see Superman and Fantastic Four, that's like not that's not the way to go about it. There's a reason for that.
Anybody's feelings who might be a patron or a member of their YouTube channel and whatever, but you guys fucking know me. I'm going to tell you what I feel. And yeah.
Oh, we love that about you.
Yes, I will call some of y'all out and I will praise some of you all depending on the situation and your responses. It's called the truth. You always get the truth from me. There's
I got to play it.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
Always get the truth from John Rocha. We'll always get the truth from John Rocha. Absolutely.
no sugarcoating bullshit going on this.
Oh yeah, no sugarcoating, no bullshit on this channel. Absolutely. All right. Okay, we're gonna jump ahead a little bit. 1:10:15. Here we go.
And that's nonsense. Utter nonsense. The action sequences in the Transformers films are fucking phenomenal, just as the action sequences in Jurassic World or Jurassic Park are fucking phenomenal. Don't give me that shit. They're both incredibly well choreographed action sequences in both of those franchises. It's just some critics and some moviegoers have attached their noses to Jurassic World and Jurassic Park and look down on Transformers because they see their franchise, which is an utter mess of a fucking franchise, as somehow elevated above Transformers. Get on the fuck out.
So he's like big mad about like Jurassic World and Transformers. I don't know. I'm not a big Transformers fan. Anybody fans of the Transformers movies in here? So he's like, I don't know, like Jurassic, like, I don't know. He's just really mad about the success, on the unfortunate success. I mean, you know, Jurassic World. Honestly, I think of the three summer movies, Superman, Fantastic Four, and Jurassic World is 100% the worst.
Out of here. They think they're telling you Harvard level science, and it's community college level science, what they're putting out with these Jurassic World, Jurassic Park movies. And I can say that because I graduated from a fucking community college, kissed my ass, and then went to a 4-year college at Florida State. Graduated.
Kiss my ass. I went to college. Okay. I'm waiting for him to say something here so I can address like why Jurassic World succeeded where the others failed.
Crop of industry and the Kardashians, all that kind of shit. And then you wonder why we're in the shithole we're in now as a country. Like, that's the thing. Many of you all watch those Real Housewives shows. That's some toxic madness, those shows. But there's a whole bumper crop of industry and the Kardashians, all that kind of shit. And then you wonder why we're in the shithole we're in now as a country. Like, that's the thing. Everything is connected. Everything. It's not like moviegoers are somehow, these pristine, safe figures that should be protected at all costs in a little snow globe and no one should say anything. Get on the fuck out of here, man. We have to be honest about this stuff. And as I said, I think studios and creatives are to blame, but so are moviegoers, because we decide what movies these people make. And the level of quality they want to bring to it.
Okay, so here's what I was waiting for. So again, he's mad that more people went to see Jurassic World than Superman and Fantastic Four. He liked those two movies, which means that, like, so in his logic here, he's trying to say these people are stupid because more people went to see Jurassic World than went to see Superman and Fantastic Four. And there's a reason for that. The reason for that is kids and domestic as well. International. Like, lots of kids love fucking dinosaurs. Families love fucking dinosaurs. When I was a kid when Jurassic World 2 came out, I was like 7, 8 years old when Jurassic Park 2 with Jeff Goldblum. Jurassic Park 2 came out. I thought that was the best movie ever. I think that was the first movie I ever saw in theaters. And I thought that Jurassic Park 2 was like the best movie ever. You know, I thought it was better than Jurassic Park 1 because I was a fucking dumbass retarded kid and I just wanted to see dinosaurs. And there were a lot of dinosaurs fucking people up in that movie. But now, as I've gotten older, the writing of Jurassic Park 1 compared to the writing of Jurassic Park 2, the characters, the acting, and everything was significantly better. So now I'm like, yeah, Jurassic Park 1 is by far the best. Jurassic Park 2, I mean, better compared to the Jurassic World movies, I'll say that. But it is a huge step down from Jurassic Park 1. But it's families, it's kids. Kids love dinosaurs. And that's what's drove a lot of the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World success. That's why a lot of people, kids overseas as well. And Jurassic World came out first as well. That's factors into it as well. But it's the kids aspect. It's the families. Families went to go see that. And then Superman came out, and probably a few less went to see that. And then Fantastic Four came out, and Fantastic Four, in the grand scheme of things, to the average normie moviegoer, Superman and Fantastic Four are very similar. Like, they're very, very similar type films. And, you know, chances are people are only going to go see one of those two. Jurassic World, despite being a really bad movie, the worst of the three by far, in my opinion, it was different. It stood out from those two. So more people went and more people saw it at the end of the day. That doesn't mean people are yeah, kids are stupid. Kids are stupid. People are gonna go see worse movies, sometimes more than good movies, man. It fucking happens. It's the fucking box office. Doesn't mean people attacking the movie going audience is not the way to get what you want. As F&T panel was saying on the last episode, dinosaur, exactly. How much more do we have here? Okay, 117.10, and I have this one circled.
The bar. And that's what the point of my tweet was, is we as moviegoers have to take responsibility as well to call out ourselves as much as we call out creatives and the studio, because it's so easy and really limited in your thinking to be like, well, it's those executives, it's those studios, it's that director, it's a DEI thing. They want to focus.
Here we go. Also, I also want to bring up that how many times have the movie studios, the directors, the actors themselves, these studios attacking their own fan base? That has a lot to do with it as well. I don't think Universal and the people behind Jurassic World were attacking the fans as much as Disney has in the past, Rocha. Just want to say that. Just want to throw that out there.
So women more than men. All that crybaby shit. And look, there are some elements,
he says while crying,
of truth to that. I'm not going to deny. But there's a lot of that stuff that gets mixed in with legitimate criticism, and it all.
Okay, and one last clip, 12020. Let's get this, and then we got a good freeze frame here. Triggered face.
About that is dumb fun. Come on, man. Some of you all are moving the goalposts to fit your narratives.
Oh, like Soy Boy Coy did?
To explain your love of those movies rather than just admitting they are shitty movies that you just love. Because God forbid you admit that.
Chat, I admit that all the time. I admit, I do, I say I'm a fan of the Resident Evil, the Mila Jovovich Resident Evil movies. Fucking terrible. But like, I can sit down and watch them and get a kick out of it, man. There's plenty of bad movies out there that like are guilty pleasures. We all have our guilty pleasures. People admit that, and Jurassic World, it stood out. It stood out from the rest of the slot. We had 3 MCU films. We had 4 superhero movies this year. Captain America, Superman, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, and 1 dinosaur movie this year. I mean, just do the math, man.